Well, welcome back to Hasselt, Belgium. Semi-final time at the European Championships, and Michael van Gerwen, incredible start to this semi-final. You can see the fist pump. He's thrown 70 darts at the board. He leads 5-0. What can Peter Wright do? He's averaging 450 after 12 darts, Peter Wright, and he hasn't won a leg.
Ladies and gentlemen, 6-leg Peter to throw first. Game on!
Yeah, in the break there, we've had veteran, grizzled darts people like Russ Bray, our caller, rushing up to the box to go, what were the averages there? What's going on?
Wow.
They're all looking around going, Michael van Gerwen is doing something ridiculous here. And these guys see top-level darts all the time. This is something special from the world number one.
100.
Can he keep it going? Can he keep it going all night?
Well, we're looking at the sequence there, weren't we, Dan, as I just mentioned, but Peter Wright has only thrown 12, 12, 12, 15 and 12 darts at the board in every leg. That's great darts from Peter Wright. He's come back from the break, scoring well, 140, 180. Back comes MVG, but Peter Wright hasn't done anything wrong. He's just been hit by a blunderbuss.
Well, look, he's had 4 darts at double, 3 at the ball and 1 at double 13. He's not hit any of them, and he's 5-0 down. Just the 60, but he is down to 1-2-1. But you wouldn't bet against Michael van Gerwen posting something massive. Well, there's a 5 just to scupper those plans.
81.
Well, he hasn't left the finish, so that's important for Peter Wright.
121.
Tough for him at this moment because he just wants to get that first leg on the board. May go for 25 for double 18. Well, that's what can happen if you do go in that direction.
Absolutely brutal to hit the bullseye when you don't want it, when you've already missed it 3 times for legs.
He must be thinking it's not his night. That was incredible. He goes for the bull, can't hit it. Goes for the 25, hits the bull.
Double 4 though for Peter Wright, and he's got a way back into this, and there's the slightly sarcastic celebration, but there will be a certain degree of relief there for Peter Wright.
Yeah, the longer the game goes, if you haven't got a leg on the board, it does prey on your mind. But he's got that out of the way. What he's got to remember is he hasn't played bad. When you're 5-0 down and you're having a mare, it's different.
Doesn't help when you have darts falling out of the board like that, though.
80.
Oh, it was a bit loose as well. The other one could have ended up with all 3 on the floor.
100.
Well, Michael van Gerwen, these two met at the match play in the semi-finals, and Michael won that 17-12. And before that game, I did speak to Michael, and he said, look, I've got a psychological edge over Peter. It's not just about the head-to-heads. He does lead it 28-8 with a draw in the Premier League between them. But he said, just look, when I did lose to him in Japan earlier this year in the World Series, Peter Wright was literally in tears. There's Mrs. VG. But Peter Wright was literally in tears, and Michael said, look, that shows how much it means to Peter to beat me. Whereas, you know, he was inferring that me playing Peter Wright is just another game for me. It's not my local, my big derby game. For Peter Wright, it is.
Well, he's playing some fantastic darts, Peter Wright, certainly over the last 6-8 months. In other years, he may have won something on the longer. We've had it with Terry Jenkins in the past, haven't we? Getting to the finals and the semi-finals, not quite getting that title under your belt.
110.
People mention it all the time, which is what happens. Yeah, good setup.
Well, there's plenty of players out there who you would have thought, oh, they'll win a major title at some point. It just doesn't happen all the time.
Certainly doesn't. But the bottom line is, he's playing as a top 4 player, isn't he? May even move up to number 3, depending on. Michael van Gerwen hits number 12 to move further ahead. With the TV tournaments coming up in the later part of this year, a lot can happen.
Yeah, well, if he did move up to number 3, you would have that added bonus of avoiding Michael van Gerwen in his half of the draw for those big tournaments. Phil Taylor, the man coming under pressure for that number 3 spot from Peter Wright.
60.
I still think Taylor's got a win under his belt somewhere. Well, don't know who's got the best hair there, him or Peter?
100.
It's his wife Joanne who's responsible for Peter's hair. It is quite an artistic effort Always is. She's apparently using neon dye, so if the lights do go out, obviously I hope they don't, then you will still see just this sort of fin of yellow floating around in the black.
You just see this head running towards the board.
Yeah.
That should be a bit spooky.
It's like darts crossed with Tron, which I think we can all agree is the direction Barry Hearn should be taking this sport.
121.
Flip one over the top. Still leaves a finish.
Ton 40 for MVG though. Ton 80's even better. And he's got it, that's his first one, and it gets him down to a very, very manageable 80. Peter Wright. Oh, once again, he's left with an enormous checkout that he may have to take out just to get the leg, and it's not going to happen.
Just had that premonition in my mind he was going to go for 3 bulls there, just to try and get those early misses out of the way, but that would have just been silly.
20 for tops for 7-1. And it is 7-1. And Peter Wright would have come back after the break after losing the first session 5-0 and just told himself, well, at the very least, just win this session, hold me throw 3 times. 3-2, it's something. But it's not even going to be that, it looks like, because Michael van Gerwen is just storming ahead.
Well, we mentioned earlier, didn't we, when you get one of these players, Taylor used to do the same, Van Gerwen does it now, even Gary Anderson. When they get on that roll, they can roll off 4, 5, 6, 7 legs on the trot in the blink of an eye.
Hang on. Oh, he came down for the treble 19. If he had, he would have been left on the 9.
Raise of the eyebrow. He just looks so comfortable, doesn't he? That's got to be such a plus when you're playing so well. You just feel so comfortable in every aspect of the game. Whoever you're playing, whatever tournament you're in.
134.
Well, look, Phil Taylor lost to Adrian Lewis earlier on, and Phil put in a very, very strong performance. The man averaged 106 and lost. But, I mean, at least he lost in, you know, a deciding leg, 10-9. Peter Wright is averaging 106, and he's 7-1 down. Double 16. Still double 16.
16.
But he will be back.
A smile on his face there. You can just see no emotion at all. He's not worried whatsoever. Peter Wright will carry on there. He's a battler. Still playing pretty well, you have to say. You sometimes forget that when you get a player like Michael van Gerwen hitting absolutely everything. You know, it just doesn't seem like an 8-1 game, but that's what the score says.
There you see, 107, plays 104.5. And Peter Wright trails by 7 legs. Nonsense. It's madness.
Well, we could have 2 incredible losing averages. You mentioned the Phil Taylor one with 106. Peter Wright is in the same boat at the moment.
Well, Peter Wright, the best tournaments of Peter Wright's career, there was obviously the World Championships. He made the final. He lost to MVG. There was the UK Open earlier this year. He lost to MVG. He made the semi-finals of the UK Open the year before. Phil Taylor did for him. And then the semi-finals of the match play, and he lost to MVG. He's putting himself in a position to go and, you know, win that first major, but he keeps running in to the world #1 and the greatest player ever, and they are throwing ridiculous darts at him, and at the minute he hasn't got the game to beat them.
Well, that's fair comment. When you look at both players playing the best, that's correct. Doesn't always work out that way, but generally does. This would certainly light him up. Oh, that's unlucky, just to the left there. Treble 15.
94.
Only went for treble 7 there, I think.
I mean, obviously, we've seen him play brilliant. I mean, he's playing great darts here. He hasn't his doubles, but he has got the game. He has beaten them, but he's not doing it in the very, very big tournaments, the ones that really, really matter. And it's got to hurt him. Double 16.
26.
Well, does that spell more danger? Michael van Gerwen will be homing in on this 156. Not this time. So even at 8-1 ahead, is disappointed at not taking out that shot,
60.
and that's champion's
Pt2
thoughts.
requires 60.
Well, double 8, Peter Wright. To go into the break, 8-2 down, and he can't afford to miss this. And he doesn't! And he doesn't! And he just has a little word with the crowd, and maybe a little bit of frustration telling for Snakebite Wright, but it's understandable, because he is being taken to school by Michael van Gerwen. 8-2 to the Dutchman.